Hi, sir. Gautam from The Hindu. Thank you so much for your time. I want to start off with asking. So this concert is happening ahead of Madras Day, which is the week after this weekend, and over the years you've become such an integral part of what Chennai also means to people here, right? What has Chennai become for you over the years? How has the equation evolved? And has there ever been a time where maybe the heights of your Hollywood collaborations or Oscar win, have you ever thought of moving out of Chennai at any point of time?
No, I think what we realize, we're all confused, right?
Yeah.
And there was a time when everybody said, the big producer from Andhra Pradesh said, I'll give you a place in Banjara Hills, move there in '94. And I was smiling at him. Then there was a time when I met Subhash Ghai Saab, and he said you have to learn Hindi, and because people love you, you should learn the language. I started learning a little bit of that, and you should. And nobody told me to move there, of course. Then we were thinking about that's the time of mafia culture, right? So underground, everything was there. Underworld, and so definitely we're not thinking about moving to Mumbai. Then it was England, and my wife spent I think 3-4 months there, and she said, I'm going back. And because I had to do the musical, I was staying there. Then there was America, of course.
The US, of course.
Then we bought a house there. And even though everybody loved it, I said, okay, everything is good, we're going back.
We're going back.
So I think the whole family, I think there is a sense of belonging to Chennai. And then you realize maybe all this stuff happened because God wants me to give back to Chennai,
Yeah.
So that comes in, and then the school started, and so it's very easy for us to say, let them go to hell. I'm going. I'm having a nice life, and because everybody has to come back to the base, and our base is always Chennai, and then all our friends in Tamil.
Everybody's here, yeah. So you've also been very vocal about the fact that no matter how busy you are or tired you are or how, whichever films you're working on, you always make time for live concerts. You've always done that over the years. And you've also spoken about how, when you do a concert, it really kind of, you feel the energy of the people there and it inspires you in different ways to compose music after that as also. How important, why is it so important for you to make sure you find the time to perform after 30 years in the industry as well?
Now even more, because now if you are a singer and you have a particular quality, the AI can now analyze your voice.
Yeah.
all the stuff, all the famous singers in North have been put in, and they can put a voice and analyze and makes it. So till a person comes on the real thing, the people see them, flesh and blood, and they see the voice, their imperfections. Everything makes a live performance, and the interactiveness and the vibe and the smile and everything, and now it's more, I said, relevant to do a live show than before.
Wow.
My live show thing is like, we see the whole world performing, each culture performing, and I felt like, இங்கே மட்டும் ஏன் எல்லாம் புக்கை வச்சுட்டு பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க முதல்ல அப்படி தான் படிந்தேன்.
Yeah.
And I said, how do you break it? And it was terrifying to break that. And how can you make a concert more interesting and reinventing constantly?
Yeah.
அது பண்ணிட்டோம் வேற ஏதாவது பண்ணலாம், but musicல இருக்கணும்.
Of course. Do you have a couple of maybe favorite songs which you really enjoy singing every time you do a concert? Which when you feel you're really in your element, has it ever crossed your mind? When that song comes, you're like, now I'm going to, I'm really going to enjoy this moment now.
There is no, since I'm composing, producing, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not every day I'm singing.
Yeah.
During prayer, I'm also started singing in tune now, because before used to Kadangan Baramari. We just do it without pitch and said, like, my God is watching this. Sing in tune. You sing in tune for everybody. So that, I think, is a very important change which happened a couple of years back during lockdown.
Yeah.
I said, okay, even if nobody is there, God is watching, you got to be the best.
Wow.
And singing, so that's a good practice. I told my son also, like, this is the best practice. Don't do it just for the sake of doing it, but do it with love. And so that extra practice, to be in form is very important. And because we have so much of this tight schedules and pressure and everything, the practice always comes to like 3 days before the concert, or it's not like every day I'm singing.
Yeah.
So when I'm singing, I'm very careful. Very rarely when I'm playing, I enjoy playing.
Okay.
When I'm singing, I'm always careful, like pronunciation or sur and how do I look, and I have to smile more.
Yeah. So it's been 31 years since your first film, Roja, and people and even like this comes, people always talk about their favorite era of Rahman's. There was 90s Rahman, and there was 2000s where Slumdog happened, the Oscar win happened. There's current day Rahman who's so much more than a music composer or so much more than just film music. There's your Sufi music, there's independent music videos, there's Kyuki, there's Maja, there's the Firdaus Orchestra in Dubai. You're so much more than one person also. Brand Rahman is a whole community now, right? If you look back these 30 years, which version of Rahman do you think had the most fun doing music? Can you pick a phase where you just enjoyed it the most and think of it in very fond memories or something?
Actually, I do only things which bring fun.
You do only
bring
that.
excitement. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Why should I do stuff?
Yeah.
And even with one of the biggest heroes, I said no, I'm not interested because I'm saturated. And if I feel like it's like a work I'm doing, I say no because my mind, my heart has to come in unison and do the stuff. It's not about the money or not about the fame, but that's when I feel like I'll do the best if my heart is
Into it.
willing to do something and have enough space. Not like a machine who can just keep doing stuff.
Okay.
It'll show on the work.
Yeah. Also, I want to talk about Rahman, the filmmaker. Obviously, you made two films now, Le Musk and Songs. I also know you've said before that there's other ideas in your head. You've spoken about a time travel concept at some point and all. Can we see that happen sometime in the near future? And after the learnings of your two films, both the makings as well as the reception, the feedback you've gotten, what do you think you'll do differently this time?
No, I think I've just, like yesterday I met a friend who saw 99 songs. I said, why did it take off the way it should have? Because I said, I wanted to get it out of my system because it was there for almost 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And we announced a date, and that day, lockdown happened. And then it was all downers. People started dying in scores in the Ganges, and all those things happened. And it was, the next 6 months was really bad, no? The second wave came in. And for Le Musk, I think we got amazing reception.
Yeah.
Whether people see it here in Cannes or LA. It was bottlenecked by the production of the chairs, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
I think we cracked it now, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll have.
It'll be, yeah.
Yeah, even 7 years, but still it's relevant. So we said we should give it to own people, let them watch it. And I think that I need a partner who can take the heavyweight lifting of all the things which are not creative.
Yeah.
And if I have multiple partners for that,
You can focus on.
production houses, I can focus on the innovative, the newness of the storytelling, the music, all the stuff. And last movie, what happened was I was left alone almost, and I had to go sit at big TV houses, and I was like, I should not be doing this.
Yeah.
And it was nice, fun to experience that, what people go through, and I feel like I'm so blessed sitting in the studio making music because big makers are the things happening. The carpet is being pulled out, and they're going to other people, investment, all these stories, and I felt like I'm saved from all that stuff. It's a blessing till we get into a zone, because at all the studio, we're also introducing virtual filmmaking in our era Film City, and my daughter is working with multiple filmmakers in developing short films. And some of them were shown at the Channel 4.
Okay.
They were invited to Iran, but they didn't get the visa.
Okay.
And then it was shown at Busan Film Festival. So there's parallelly, my children also
doing stuff,
growing as producers and doing something which. So I think it's a bud now.
Yeah.
It'll blossom in multiple
Eventually,
ways, hopefully later, like all this.
Yeah. On that note, all your kids, they've gone from being Rahman's children to now becoming their own independent musicians in their own right of the last few years, right? And from whatever we can see, they're very different from each other, both personality-wise as well as musically, right? Katija is doing something. Her, Sagabasi was a big phenomenon. Amin is obviously working with you. Rahima is working with you as well. Could you talk about a little bit about each of them as musicians and where you see them going over the next 5-6 years?
One thing I was very, very clear that whatever money you leave for people is going to go in a day if they're not smart enough. They don't understand the legacy. And because I went through the troubles with my mom and with my sisters, I know that that is not a suffering, that is a lesson God taught me. That lesson, because I could share the burden of what my mother was going through, made me who I am, made me take decisions, even now, grounded decisions. So, taking off the trouble which you're facing and not telling your children that you're not in trouble, everything is good, is not a good thing. Let them also share the burden. Let them see, oh, this is the loan I bought for this building.
Yeah.
This is the mortgage I'm paying. And so that I felt is very, very important, so that they also give solutions. Or they take that and understand that if I don't do this, I'll be, dad is going to go through trouble. So sometimes they come to me and why don't you do this? I said, I can't do that because of this. So I put them in the same spot as I am in. Not to torture them, but
Make them learn.
to make them, So, and also like if they're not in music, and people have learned this new term called nepotism.
Yeah.
It's you build all this stuff, and then if your kids are not into it, it's going to become a godown.
Yeah.
Are they going to sell it off? It takes, which every step and every chair and every decor has been carefully selected with passion for them to probably
take over
and do the stuff. So it's important to teach your kids what you're going through and what they could. I mean, there's the main broad stroke thing is there, of course. They could articulate it in their own way what they would feel, right? But
very cool. So back when you made the films, also you said that one of the main reasons is the artist in you wanted to reclaim the art form in a time and age where we're slowly moving towards corporates taking control of the creative process. You felt like that was slipping away from the artists themselves in some way, and now we are moving towards the future where we see more and more corporates coming. That's where the money is, and we need to balance that out, of course. But Rahman can go make a film on his own. Not obviously everybody can. How does an artist, be it a filmmaker or a musician or a writer, such times, how do we reclaim the art form?
I think to value the resources is very important. And if you take limitation, if you take Iran as a country, they have such limitation. They can't do certain things. They can't, but they still come up with beauty. Every story, the whole world can. It's about humanity. It's about the lifestyle. It's about challenges. If you take Malayalam film industry very soon, they never had budget.
Yeah.
Now I think it's expanding because everybody's saying that, so that it forces you to think more. It forces you to you give a lot of resources to somebody. They go there, they make the artist wait. Or let me think about a scene. I'm hearing stories about this. I said, why can't you think before? Some stuff is fine. You need to experiment, but lack of preparation also waste of money.
Yeah.
And I feel that is important. And now we don't need anybody. Your iPhone can do, cinema quality stuff, and there's no excuse for anyone. You don't need an outlet. You could put it on this thing. When people see good things, they come for it. I've known somebody from Europe, Eastern Europe, making a short film which Hollywood comes and gives them
budgets,
like $100 billion, make a big one. So nothing's gonna stop.
So recently, you went with Mr. Kamal Haasan to the Academy Museum. We saw pictures there, and obviously people loved that what you posted about each other in the Instagram captions and all. How has that equation evolved with him over the years? Because obviously his next film is with you as well. So what do you guys talk about when you hang out outside work as well, and you watch The Godfather together and all that? So yeah, sounds fascinating.
No, we went for Oppenheimer also.
Okay.
We went to the Chinese theater. He was there, and I think Shankar had come, and he had gone to Vegas.
Okay.
And so we just invited him for lunch. And it's so nice because he comes from like almost 6 generations of filmmaking, going through the stories, and I heard he still watches movies.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I don't have patience to watch every movie, but that's fascinating. He knows, like you said, this is from that scene, this is from this scene. It's like an story. So, and I feel like he also has got trapped in this industry, and the trap is, I wouldn't say a bad thing. It's a good thing for us.
Yeah.
But maybe you shouldn't have been trapped. You should, like 20 years before, you should have gone to even as an experiment. Not worrying about success or failure, done in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He had the money. He can still do it.
Yeah.
That's what I suggested.
Wow.
So you should do an English film. And just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Don't be judgmental about it.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah. Brilliant. Current day Rahman is also very defined by his spirituality and your equation with God. You speak about that in many interviews. You post about it, and also you constantly quote Rumi a lot. He's one of your favorite poets. I've seen in many of the interviews you quote him. Could you tell us a quote which you think is pertinent to today's time and age, which you keep maybe going back to, or which has affected you very strongly?
Um, I think I posted something on Twitter. So this morning I was like, okay, let me see. I woke up earlier at 4:30.
Okay.
Usually I sleep at 6.
Yeah.
Strangely, I slept in the night and I woke up at 4:30 and I said, I finished the prayers and I said, let me watch some Rumi. So I typed in Rumi secret or something,
Okay.
and then there comes on Indian, motivation spiritual speaker.
Yeah.
And then he talks about Rumi's that quote which says, beyond all good things and bad things, there is a place, and I'll meet you there. Which we used in Rockstar.
Yeah.
So he talks about it, and then there's another video about love.
Hmm.
In that, he talks about how the light is like water.
Yeah.
There are different forms of water,
Yeah.
but water is water.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what in my life, I've resonated with my ideas about spirituality, about humanity, about love, about respecting each other beyond all the differences. So I posted that. You watched that video.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting, and how the way he talks to younger people about it, and it was fascinating conversation.
Brilliant. During the Oscars this year, the Academy posted a video of you talking about how you're inspired to say the iconic Tamil dialogue, "Ella Pogalum Iruvenike," after watching Penelope Cruz say something in Spanish on stage. Is that true? It was not prepared at all before you
Nothing
said
was
that?
prepared, yeah. Nothing was
Wow.
prepared. Because I thought I'll jinx it. I said,
Okay.
I'm not going to. And worst comes to worst, I'll say thank you and go off.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
I do that
Yeah.
and save people the agony of listening to me.
Okay.
But there I felt like the more I was watching, I was sitting, and my main thing was not even winning the Oscars. It's not to perform badly, or because I was singing, I was doing two
You were
performances.
performing, yeah.
So it was like walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still remember that stuff. And then I was like in a Zen mode, and so I was like calm, and there was a counter going there.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you. It's great. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.